guys, Wrinkled Runner here. I'm going to be making a rice pudding that I use for long runs, and I like it because there's not a lot of sugar in it. I use stevia, you can also use sugar, and I'll have the ingredients down below. I'm going to be also using the Easy Squeeze reusable pouches that you can get from Amazon. These are a little more adult looking than some of the ones that they have for kids. You can open it up at the bottom. It has like a double zipper on the bottom, so even if it starts to leak out the top one, there's still the bottom one for more security. And you can just unscrew it on the run, squeeze it out, and that way you can use real food if, like me, you can't tolerate the gels or the blocks or some of the other things that they have for runners for the long run for carb loading. So for the rice pudding, we have 2 cups of rice already cooked. We have 4 cups of almond milk. We have a half teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we have 1 tablespoon of stevia for baking, which I use the Trulia brand. You can also use 1/4 cup of sugar. So what you're going to do is pour the milk into a pot. I'm using a clay pot that I got in Japan from when I lived there. And you can use that to make rice, but you can also use it to make other things as well. I like it a lot. And 2 cups of the already cooked rice, and you want that to be cold. So then you're just going to stir it up, and you're going to put it on the stove, and then we're going to cook it for about 15 minutes at boiling to try to thicken it before we add the other ingredients. We're going to turn it down to a simmer and then simmer it for about 15 minutes or until it starts to get thick. And then you're going to turn it off. Okay. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes and we're going to turn off the timer. You want a consistency kind of like this. It will thicken as it cools, so this is the consistency that you want. So we're going to turn that off, and then we're going to take it off of the stove. You're going to add your vanilla, your stevia, your cinnamon, and your salt. And you're going to stir that up. Now just remember, this is a recipe for runners to use during the long run for carbo loading. So this isn't like a dessert. You're not going to taste this and think, oh, this would be great for dessert. This is something to carbo load and give you the energy that you need to get through a long run. So once you get that all stirred up, you're going to take your cling wrap and you're going to put it right on top of the pudding, just like in other cooked puddings, so that it doesn't form a skin on it. And in this case, you really don't want a skin on it because we're going to be putting it in our easy pouches later, and you don't want that hard skin to get clogged up in there when you're squeezing it out. So you're going to put that right on top of the pudding, and then you're going to let it sit on the counter for about 45 minutes to cool before we put it in the refrigerator until it gets cold. Okay, so it's the next day and I'm getting ready to go out for a long run, so I'm going to put the rice pudding into the Easy Squeeze. And I do it from the bottom. Just open up the bottom and you can scoop what you want into there. And then there's the double zipper that you just push together for a nice seal. Make sure it's closed, otherwise you're going to squirt it out the bottom, which would not be good.